Hi everyone, it's Miss Diana, and today I'm going to show you a game that you can play to help out with color ID. Okay, this is a fun little game that you can play with your kiddos. I have a deck of Uno cards. I know a lot of people have these because they have cards like this that are a different color with the numbers. So this actually hits a lot of targets with color ID, with number ID. So you can run a lot of programs with this and hit a lot of targets just by playing a simple game of Uno. Uno is a classic game. I know when I was a kid, this is when it came out when I was a kid, and I loved playing this game, and I still do. I'm an adult and I still love playing this game with my family. We get very competitive, so that's why I enjoy doing this. Okay, so since we're doing this for preschoolers, the rules of this game are going to change a little bit. So they're going to be a modified version of Uno, okay? Now, Uno has cards, as we all know, that are special cards, okay? So I just took some out of the deck just to show you. So before you would run the game, I would kind of explain to them each card and what each card means. So that if they get this card, what does this card mean and what can you do, okay? And the same thing for a wild card with a draw 4. A skip, what does that mean? Okay, that you skip a player. A reverse, okay, so instead of going clockwise around like this, you're gonna go counterclockwise like this. So it changes the direction of the game. A draw 2, what happens here? And also this to identify the numbers. So this is a 9, and this with a line underneath means it's a 6, okay? Because if you put them both like this, they both look the same, and if you put them both like this, they both look the same. So this is so that you can distinguish between the two numbers, okay? So let me shuffle my deck and then I'll show you how to play the modified version of Uno for your preschoolers. Okay, so what you're going to do is, it's very helpful to kind of keep some type of a mat. I just have a piece of paper here just to keep things organized, to distinguish between the two piles. Just gonna do it this way. All right. Okay, and you can play with as many players as you want, but if you're going to use this paper, it's helpful because each side, okay, the 4 sides can indicate 4 different players to play. So having the 4 players is ideal, less confusion, or you can do 2 players with your child and a sibling, or make it a family game and have the whole family play. Okay, so like I said, you want to shuffle your cards, okay? And then what you want to do, you take from the top of the deck and you give each player 5 cards, okay? The traditional version is 7, but you want to give each player 5, okay? So this is where the modifications come in, all right? So instead of 7, you give 5. And, okay, instead of giving the 5 cards facing down like this, we're going to leave them face up so that everyone is going to see. So that's another modification, okay? That when you're playing Uno, that's another modification to this game. And look, they have a special card, so you just want to remind them over and over what this special cards mean when you're playing Uno, because they may tend to forget, especially when this is your first time introducing it to your child. They're not going to be familiar, And when you play this over and over, they're going to be more accustomed to it, and they will know. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and now I'm going to have like my second opponent here. I'm going to give 5 cards. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? And then you take from the bottom of the deck a card here. So we have 6. Remember, the line on the bottom means it's a 6. And this deck here. Okay, so now in order to play the game, you can start with your child and kind of go that way, in that kind of a direction. Start from your child and go to the right and play that way. You guys can determine that when you play that game with your child. So since I'm here, I'll start. And since I only have 2 people playing, it's easier. We're just gonna go back and forth. So I have a 6 and that's with a line, that means a 6. So you tell your child, okay, do you have any card that has the same color blue, or any card that has the same number 6? Okay, so you will kind of really give a lot of verbal prompt with the direction until, you know, you get accustomed to it, and you can say, okay, what color is this? And they could say blue. All right, what number is this? Remember, it has a line underneath. What does that mean? It's 6. Good, that's right. So do you have a blue card, or do you have a number 6 card that you can play here in the middle? And your child will look across and they'll see this. Oh, it's blue. But then you say, oh look, it says draw 2. So you're gonna put it down, and the other player is gonna take 2 cards. So you take 2 cards. So you're gonna go 1, 2. So when you have multiple cards, you don't wanna kind of go over the 5 because it's gonna be confusing. So what you wanna do is you can kind of pile them together, line them up with the same color. So it's easier to kind of see. Okay, and then the person that has the draw 2, they'll go out and they'll play a card. So they're going to play, I have a number 8. And then your child will look, I don't have an 8, and I don't have a blue card. So what does that mean? They gotta take a card. And they'll put it down. And then you remind them, do you have the same color card or the same number? And they'll look and they'll see, oh, I have an 8, but it's not blue. But you can say, yep, you can put it because it has the same number. So you would put the card here. Okay, until you get to the end. And then you can tell them, you know, once you have 1 card, you say, oh, I have uno. And when they're ready and able to put the card in the middle, obviously at this point I can't, but when they do, then you would place it down and they would say uno, and they won the game. So this is a little bit time consuming. You don't have to do this whole deck. You can pick and choose and have a smaller deck so the game doesn't have to run so long. You can, if you choose to do that way. Another fun board game that you can do that identifies colors is Candyland. Candyland is a fun game to play to identify, it helps identify colors. You know, Candyland, when we run board game programs so that, you know, children learn how to play games. And when we do that in the classroom, Candyland is one of those games that they should learn how to play. So practicing how to play Candyland, it's also good. It helps cover many different targets with your child, with color ID, number ID, and also taking turns, and, you know, socializing with the other partner and saying, oh, it's your turn. And then, you know, when it's their turn, they'll say, oh, it's my turn, to kind of help them out that way. So I hope you try this game, or even if you have Candyland, many of us know how to play that game. You know, you can play that game as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this fun family game.